Fat loss in your 50s is impossible. Well, at least that's what a lot of you are saying. But today, let's talk about how to make what seems impossible possible. And I shouldn't just say women in their 50s, because at some point, women in their 40s or above usually find that keeping fat off gets a lot more difficult. And it's perfectly normal. So today we're gonna go over some of the reasons why you may not be able to lose body fat, no matter how hard you're trying. Welcome to Boom 50 Fitness. My name's Regan, and this is your channel for all things health and fitness in your 50s and beyond. Okay, today my top 5 things you should be focusing on if you are on a fat loss journey. So let's just get into the most common reasons why you can't lose body fat. Let me start by saying that what you did in your younger days is no longer going to work when it comes to losing body fat. I have so many people that come to me and say, I'm doing what I used to do when I wanted to lose weight. This was in their younger days, but it's no longer working. So basically, you have to shift your focus, and we're gonna lean into some new things. So it may feel like you're starting over a bit, but we have to try to change your body composition, not just try to lose weight. Okay, the number one reason is you just don't have your nutrition right. One of the most common things that I hear is, I slashed my calories and this has always worked in the past to help me lose weight. And yes, you do need to be in a caloric deficit to lose weight. A caloric deficit just means you are burning off more energy than you're putting into your body. And yes, you do need to be in a calorie deficit, but just a caloric deficit on its own is not going to help you lose fat. It used to, but it won't anymore. So one thing you need to do is balance out your macros appropriately. Your macros are your proteins, your carbohydrates, and your fats. So what I tell most of my clients that are either perimenopausal, menopausal, or in postmenopause is to try to eat your body weight in protein, or at least get above 100 grams of protein every single day. I've said this in other videos. If you focus on eating your body weight in protein, or at least coming very close to that every single day, it's not gonna leave much room for anything else. So protein is the main macronutrient that you need to be focusing on. You will be shocked at the difference this will make. You still need to be patient, but try to get in 100 plus grams of protein a day, or your goal weight, or your actual body weight. And I'm not saying to cut out the fats and the carbohydrates completely, because you need both of those. In fact, I want you to eat healthy fats. That's just another thing that's gonna help you feel satiated. So olive oil and avocados are my absolute favorite fats to take in every single day. So we focus on all that protein, we focus on those healthy fats, and yes, you can eat carbohydrates, but with all that protein and those fats, like I said, it's not gonna leave a lot of room for carbohydrates. So make sure you're reaching for really healthy ones, mostly veggies, some fruits, and if you wanna throw in some whole grain carbohydrates, then do that, but just a small amount. Okay, so just try that 100 plus grams of protein trick. Don't take anything out and you will still see a difference. You're gonna fill up on other foods and hopefully not reach for some of those foods that just hang on to your body. Okay, my number 2 reason why you're struggling with fat loss in your 50s, actually your 40s, 50s, and beyond, is you are choosing the wrong forms of exercise. And what is the number 1 exercise you can be doing for your body? Well, I'm gonna give you 1 and 2. Number 1 is strength training. If you are trying to lose fat, strength training is absolutely essential if you are in your 40s, 50s, or above. And why is that? Because more muscle is going to help you burn more fat. And what will more lean muscle do for you? Well, it will help turn you into a fat burning machine. And that is what's going to help with your metabolism, not going out and running long distances. So instead of popping on the spin bike or going out for that long distance run, focus on the strength training first. And seriously, it doesn't matter if you're trying to lose 10 pounds or 50 pounds. You have to incorporate the strength training. And I'm not talking about lightweight strength training. I am talking about working hard, working to failure, and really building up the muscle. And I'll link some of my favorite videos up here to help you get started on your strength training journey if you're not on one already. And if you are on one and you love a HIIT style workout or you love to go to your fitness classes, chances are you're not going to be working to failure. So if you are in one of those classes, maybe slow down the pace a little bit while you're lifting, go for a heavier weight, and not try to do as many reps as you did before. Go for the big weight and less repetitions. And don't worry, you will not bulk up. Now, I am not telling you to give up your running and your spin classes and whatever cardio you like, but I am asking you to scale back just a little bit and incorporate walking every single day. I know that 10,000 steps a day is just an arbitrary number, but it's a really great goal to have, and you can do that. Even if you have to set a timer on your watch or your phone for every 30 minutes to just get up and walk for about 2 minutes. You'll be so amazed by how many steps you can get by the end of the day if every half hour during waking hours you walk for 2 minutes. And the other huge bonus of walking is it lowers your cortisol levels. So after a hard strength training session, which will increase those cortisol levels a little bit because exercise will do that, go out for a nice leisurely walk and those cortisol levels will go back down to their normal level a lot faster. Okay, so when it comes to exercise, what do you have to do? Heavy strength training and walk every single day. You can do it, no problem, but you have to commit and you have to stay consistent. Okay, my number 3 reason why you may be struggling with fat loss is you're just not sleeping well. But you may be asking yourself, I have so much trouble sleeping. And you know what? It's one of the most common signs of perimenopause and menopause. When I first started on my perimenopause journey, I was waking up 7, 8, 9 times a night. Now I am on HRT, that's hormone replacement therapy, which is not for everybody, but for me, it has helped me so much when it comes to sleep especially. I'll talk more about that in another video, but let's talk about some things that you can do even if you're not on HRT to help with your sleep. First off, I'll link a video up here where I'll give you 10 really easy tips to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up energized. And maybe you're thinking, wait a minute, why would lack of sleep cause a rise in body fat, or for me to be struggling with losing body fat? Well, what happens if you don't get a restful night's sleep, your body starts to hold on to that body fat. Maybe you're still asking, why would sleep affect my fat loss? Why does my body hold on to fat when I don't get a good night's sleep? Well, it affects your insulin resistance and it can also affect your thyroid. And it will mess with the hormones that control your appetite. One thing I've really noticed is friends that have given up alcohol and clients that have given up alcohol, or at least scaled back on alcohol and maybe only drinking 1 or 2 times a week and just having 1 or 2 drinks, are finding that their sleep is much better and they are able to change their body composition. So sleep, nutrition, and strength training, so important. So one thing you have to do if you don't think you're getting a good night's sleep is to implement some sleep strategies or some really great healthy sleep habits. So one quick sleep tip I will give you is you have to be intentional with your sleep and those sleep habits and everything leading up to a good night's sleep. Things like turning down the temperature, either bumping up the air conditioner or turning down that heat so that your room is nice and cool, dimming the lights early, stop with electronics. I stop at 7:30, so no phone, no computer, no nothing past 7:30. I will watch TV, usually till around 9:30, but then I shut it down and I get in bed and I read a good book. And here's a little simple trick that as soon as I'm done my day of training people, which sometimes goes pretty late, as soon as I get home, I take off my workout clothes, I shower, I do my skincare routine so that there's no excuse not to have it all done and there's no excuse not to be in bed by 9:30. And maybe you like to go to bed later, or maybe you like to go to bed earlier, but just know that having a great night's sleep starts a few hours before you actually get in bed. All right, so check out that video I mentioned. I know it will help you with your sleep. And I need to say that if you're on top of your nutrition and you're on top of your strength training and walking, doing all the right things, but you're not getting a good night's sleep, it's going to negatively affect your fat loss goals. So it's not a 2 out of 3 thing. You gotta get 3 out of 3. There's one little device that I don't have, but I'm thinking of getting, but I have some friends who have one, and I also have some clients who have one. It's called an Oura Ring, and you wear it on your pointer finger. You've probably seen it around, and it will help you track your sleep on a day-to-day basis, or I guess I should say a night-to-night basis. It actually gives you a sleep score, and it would be a really, really fun way to monitor how well you're sleeping. And you can track like what you're eating that night, or what type of exercise you got, or if you've been drinking that night. That will definitely affect your sleep score. So check out the Oura Ring. I'll link the website down below so that you can check it out for yourself. Okay, here's another thing that kind of goes hand in hand with sleep because it affects the way your body holds on to fat, and that is your stress levels. Stress fat really is a thing. Okay, you guys, if the lighting looks a little different, it's because I had to change the batteries in my mic, and then I realized it was Fiona's dinner time, so that meant it was my dinner time. And so I had a quick bite to eat. I'll show you what I had. My family's having spaghetti and meatballs, but I decided to skip the pasta tonight and just do a big bowl of delicious meatballs with some Parmesan cheese. More often than not, when I'm at home, I eat a very low carb diet. All my carbs come from vegetables and fruit, and that's it. So, because I want to make sure I get that protein in, because we talked about the importance of the protein. So that's why instead of filling up on pasta, which there's nothing wrong with doing a little pasta, and if I go to an Italian restaurant or I'm in Italy, when in Rome, I eat a lot of pasta. But when I'm at home, I usually go for just the meat part of the dinner and I skip the pasta. And if I do have the pasta, it's just a little tiny bit. But it was delicious, and I definitely ate my body weight in protein today. Okay, back on topic. So we're on number 4 and we're talking about stress. And at this time of life, it's really easy for your body to hold on to stress, which makes your body also hold on to fat. It's just one of those things similar to sleep where you just have to do your best to get it under control. So how do you get rid of stress? Well, there's so many techniques, and what works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for me. But a few of my favorite techniques would be walking, deep breathing, meditation, journaling, any sort of self-care. Those are the kind of things that can really help bring my stress levels back down, and then in turn bring the cortisol levels back down, because when we're under a lot of stress, those cortisol levels rise up. So not only will stress raise the cortisol levels, it will have an impact on all the female hormones. And yes, it's true what we all say. Stress is going to make your body hold on to fat. So you've got to implement some of those techniques when you're under a lot of stress to just bring those cortisol levels back down. Just take a deep breath. It'll be okay. Some people will say that hormones will not affect your weight or your fat loss journey, but they will. So lower levels of especially estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone will make it more difficult to lose fat. So if you don't know where your hormone levels are at right now, I would suggest you contact an endocrinologist and have a full blood panel done so that you can see all your different levels. And from there, you and your doctor can come up with a plan that's right for you. Maybe HRT, hormone replacement therapy, is for you, but it's not for everybody. But you can make a game plan with your doctor and come up with something that's going to work specifically for you. So all those hormones, those decreasing hormones, really do affect your ability to lose fat. There are ways to manage your declining hormones and have them not affect your fat loss journey as much. And the two things I mentioned previous to this were sleep and stress. So if you can really try to focus on getting that sleep and lowering those stress levels, it will really help balance out your hormones a little bit more. Yes, they are going to decrease as we get older, but it can be managed. And then the first thing I mentioned today was nutrition. So there's certain foods like processed foods, sugar, and alcohol that will just wreak havoc on your hormones. So those are things to definitely stay away from, or at least really only have them in a small amount of moderation. Does that make sense? A small amount of moderation? I'm not sure it does. But I think you know what I'm saying. Just a little bit. I'm not telling you not to drink, but maybe you just drink 1 or 2 nights a week, and on those 1 or 2 nights you only have 1 or 2 drinks. I'm not telling you to give up sugar completely, but when you do have it, really try to limit it. And the one thing I would try to give up completely is processed foods. They are no bueno. Okay, so those are the 5 things you really need to be focusing on your fat loss journey. Your nutrition, make sure you are getting over 100 grams of protein and you're always getting your healthy fats like olive oil and avocados, and you're getting your carbs from vegetables, a lot of vegetables, and a little bit of fruit. And then you also want to be focusing on your exercise, specifically strength training. Heavy strength training, working to failure. Yes, you can do it. And then also incorporating a lot of walking, getting those 10,000 steps in every single day. And then focusing on your sleep. Make sure you start working on your evening routine a few hours before you're going to hit the sack. And then getting those stress levels down, however you want to do it. Meditation. Oh, I will link Headspace up above. I absolutely love it because on my own, I just don't do it. But I love a little mini guided meditation every now and then. Walking, meditation, journaling, deep breathing, whatever it is for you, take care of yourself. And last but not least, get your hormones checked. See what levels you're at and see what you can do to minimize the effects of the declining hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. So do all those things and you will be successful on your fat loss journey. You can do it, you can do it. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, why not smash that subscribe button? It really helps me out. And what else do you guys want to hear about? I would love to share more with you on any topic regarding health and fitness. And what else? I'll see you next week. My name's Regan. This is Boom 50 Fitness. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next Thursday.